New Ryzen 7 7800X3D scam exposed fake head spreaders and empty PCBs. Beware of fake Ryzen 7 7800X3D CPUs. Always buy from reliable sellers. Devourer purchased a processor from an enthusiast who had unfortunately fallen victim to a scam involving AMD's most popular processor. The processor was sold on the second-hand market in Romania through a platform called OLX. This platform does not allow customers to return items if they are bought from individuals. However, there are protections in place that allow customers to counterclaim if the product delivered in fraudulent, ensuring that the scammer never receives the money. Unfortunately, some buyers trying to save money often negotiate deals directly with sellers outside the platform, which means they have no protection if something goes wrong. This case is an example of that, as the purchased Ryzen 7 7800X3D turned out to be a fake that didn't work at all. The customer attempted to check if the processor had any PCB connections by testing the pads with a multimeter, but it wasn't functioning. The buyer decided to buy the processor from the scam victim and made a video explaining how to quickly determine if something is wrong with the CPU. As you can see here, it's worth noting that the fake CPU scams have been covered many times, and there are several methods scammers use. These include shipping an entirely wrong CPU, relabeling a CPU with new less than engraved markings that are harder to detect, or simply adding an integrated heat spreader to an empty CPU package that never had any CPU cores in the first place. This case involves all of these scams. The first obvious giveaway for devourer was the lack of glue on the capacitor surrounding the IHS integrated heat spreader. The unique design of AM5 package allows AMD to place capacitors around it, but this requires protective measures like adhesive to secure them. It's important to note that this glue is not present on non-X3D 7000 processors, but was added by AMD for its X3D series. The glue is also present on the 9000 series, so keep that in mind when inspecting second-hand Ryzen CPUs. In the scam, the capacitors were noticeably clean, which was the first clue that something was off. Additionally, the color of the fake 7800 X3D was more bluish compared to the typical green hue of genuine Ryzen 7000 AM5 processor, furthermore raising suspicion. However, the 9000 series CPUs have the same blue color on the package, so remember that this rule does not apply to every AM5 processor. For professional workers like Devourer, it was also easy to notice that PCB is much thinner than the original Ryzen CPU. In fact, it was much easier to lock the CPU on the AM5 package once installed. Fake Ryzen 7800 X3D versus genuine 7800 X3D. Lack of the sealant on the capacitor. Different color, should be green, not blue. The package thickness is lower, 0.964mm instead of 1.308. Lower quality IHS design, misaligned label, and the wrong front. Devourer confirmed the CPU was not working by installing into the motherboard. He immediately proceeded to delete it, revealing that the entire design was made to look like a CPU. The IHS spreader was different because it was specifically crafted to mimic the design of the genuine processor. The mold even include fake CCDs and IO dies, which were actually part of IHS, while the package itself was just an empty board. It was determined that this scheme involved a high quality fake. Everything from design to placement of the capacitor was correct. However, the scammer did not perfectly replicate every detail, and there was some obvious giveaways that something was wrong. Even the serial number on the box matched that of the fake CPU. While the Ryzen 7800 X3D is the most popular AMD gaming CPU, and since the price has remained steady for some time, scammers are trying to take advantage of gamers who are looking to save every last penny. Don't be one of such victims. Pay attention to what you are buying, and Use customers protection if possible.